Hey guys, this week we'll be looking at Module 8. Your assignments this week will be reading in your Rubin book, chapters 6 through 8. This week also begins a big milestone in our research projects, which is collecting data. We're moving into that section of it. Now, as I've mentioned in other videos, the research project is a process. So first of all, you submitted your approval form, got your project topic approved. Then you moved on to your proposal, which is the first section of your research project. You take care of the research question, those methods, and your data collection, talking about that. Now, everything you talked about in your proposal, you get to implement at this point. So as of the beginning of this module, which is October 1, you can start collecting your baseline data. Now, depending on your specific project, your data collection period may vary. Some of you may choose to do it for a month. Some of them may choose to do it for 6 weeks. It's really up to you. You just have to have a period of time showing your baseline data, and then a period of time where you have you're monitoring it with your intervention. Okay. Keep in mind your time frame is kind of limited because the overall project is due on November 28th. So be sure to give yourself enough time to kind of analyze your data and also to write your paper, make any corrections. Now, you guys have turned in the first part of the proposal. If you haven't, please contact me. I do have a late submission option. It's like, I discussed that in the syllabus also. So if you have questions, please reach out to me. So, but theoretically, you have turned in your proposal. I will be grading those over the next couple weeks. I would hope to get them back to you sooner, but they are pretty time consuming, so it'll take me a little bit of time to give you guys proper feedback on those. But I'll be giving you feedback on that first part. So that first part is also going to be a component of the final project, so you get to make any corrections or address any issues with that for the final project paper due on the 28th of November. So just keep that in mind. So you'll have, this is kind of like the first draft of it, and then you get to make corrections for the final paper. Okay, so this week, you should start looking at your baseline data. If don't think you'll be able to start collecting data this week, you might want to just kind of touch base with me, and I'll try to help you work on a plan to move forward. But you're really going to have to start this week, next week at the very latest, collecting your baseline data. Now, baseline, we're looking at the behavior that you're monitoring, that dependent variable. We're looking at that by itself. So we kind of want to establish what that behavior is like right now. A lot of you have chosen behaviors you want to change. So you want to see what the behavior is at the current time. Okay, so give yourself a week or two to kind of look at that behavior. Then we're going to move into the period where you start implementing your intervention. Now, keep in mind, when you're measuring both, you need to measure your baseline period and your intervention period the same. So if you're looking at sleep, for instance, you need to measure it the same way during the baseline period as intervention. So you would, if you're measuring it on something like a Fitbit or an Apple Watch, you would continue to measure the same way consistently. Otherwise, if you measure it differently in your intervention period, you're not really looking at the same kind of data in the end. You don't really have an apples to apples comparison. Same way with something a little more subjective like anxiety or stress. If you have if you've developed a measurement to measure your stress levels, once per day during your baseline period, continue to do it once per day. Theoretically, at the same time every day, or roughly the same time every day during that intervention period. The only thing different during your intervention period should be the actual intervention happening. So say if you were listening to heavy metal and hoping it would have an effect on your stress, you still continue to measure your stress maybe once a day or twice a day, whatever it is you did it during the baseline. The only thing different was you'd start listening to heavy metal twice a day. That could be your intervention. That's just a crazy example, but the premise is the same. So that's the whole key here. When you're doing your baseline, measuring your baseline and your intervention data. Okay, so that'll help you in the end when you start looking at the results of your data. Now, the readings for this week kind of go around how to analyze that data. When you get the data, okay, you see all this stuff now. What do I do with it, right? So this talks a little bit more about statistical analysis and how to look at those numbers and make a good comparison based on statistics. So it does get a little heavy in there in the statistical technical jargon, but I put some videos in the module as well this week, so hopefully that'll kind of help iron out some of those heavy kind of aspects of it. So, but if you guys have questions, or if there's something you're not understanding or having some trouble with, email me or post it in the open forum. Definitely, if I can do a video, or if I can provide you with some resources for that, I will definitely do so. So you guys just let me know. One thing also I found, for the next few weeks, we're going to have a few assignments, but that they're going to kind of be sporadic throughout this period, because I want to really give you time to do the research and collect your data and worry about that. But definitely, if you haven't done so already, take a look under, I think it's under the content folder. Let me double check. Our course resources folder. And also, I think it's located with our syllabus as well in Blackboard. But I have a weekly assignment sheet. Looks sort of like this. I don't know if you guys can really see that, but it breaks down all the assignments every week, the readings that are required, each, what you should be doing every week is all broken down there all over the course of the semester. So be sure to utilize that to kind of keep yourself on track. I utilize it. You guys can see where I'm checking it off as we go every week, and I finish grading and things like that. So making sure we're not missing anything. But all those due dates are noted on there, the links to the modules and whatnot. Now, I will be keeping up with you guys, of course, grading your assignments, but I'll also be keeping up with you guys as posting some more videos, and also in, your overviews for each module each week. Now, keep in mind, one assignment that's coming up is assignment 3. It's the city course. This is a online little mini course that we use at Concord to help our researchers become more familiar with research protocol and process. So I think that is very helpful in helping you guys understand the bigger picture, because research is a can be a very complex process. In that, at Concord, in my other job, and besides teaching for you guys, I'll deal with research every day, in that, grant-funded research, scientific research, those kind of things that are happening on campus. So this is the same kind of course that our researchers take. This is a basic foundation for research, ethical concerns. So I think it's really good information. It is a little bit time consuming. It might take you a couple hours to complete, but it's not due until October 28th. So you guys have lots of time. So I've been giving you a heads up. It's in a separate folder in the content. It's called City Course. Should be right above where all the information is about the research project. So you guys take a look at that. You may want to start a little bit early. I think you can start on it and, kind of save it, because there's different modules within it. So you can kind of start early and save that and go back to it if you need to. So, but keep in mind that is an assignment coming up. It's worth 50 points, so it's pretty significant. So all you have to do is make sure that you pass the course and go through it and upload your certificate of completion. So just be sure. And when you do that, it'd be helpful if you upload the certificate that actually shows your percentages on it, where it is showing how, your scores and all that. So that is very helpful to me. So just want to make sure you guys are aware of all that. But good luck with your research. If you have questions as you're moving along, or you're having issues with your measure, or not sure exactly how you're going to measure your behaviors, And I think we've worked out a lot of that. I've talked to you guys, almost everybody on the phone. But if you're still not sure, just contact me, preferably email instead of course messages, because sometimes it takes me a little while to get those. But reach out and let me know. We can work on it. Okay. I'm happy to do that anytime. So good luck with your research, and you guys take care and enjoy Module 8.